So in last class, we have basically seen some element of, okay, sorry. My screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was just checking whether recording started or not. So it started. Okay, so in last class we have seen Streamlit, like how we can input text, we can upload, how to upload a file, how to visualize it. We have also seen radio button, radio, then button and sidebar. Then we have seen how we can display images. Okay, and images, audio, and video. Apart from that, we have seen how we can set title, page config, and logo. All this we have seen. Okay, so today we will try to make some simple app. Okay, where first we will see, let's say, uh, some sort of LLM based app. Okay, uh, where let's say initially we will start with simple question answer. So maybe I can ask user to enter your query. Okay, and we will print the output of LLM in some window. Okay, so this is the first thing we will do. So where it's a simple like question answer sort of thing, right? So user can input a query and then we will pass that query to the LLM, and LLM will basically give the output and then we will print that output. Okay, so let's see, the flow will be, so there will be query or query, and then that query will be passed to the LLM, and the output, so this we will display. Okay, display. And so it a simple question answer sort of thing, and maybe we can ask user, so let's say the system message that we create, so we will ask the user to say system message also. So system role can be also set by a user only. Okay, right, so this we will try to make in using a Streamlit. So this is the first thing. Second will be, we will see how we can pass image to the LLM. Okay, and so in query, user can ask question related to image as well. Okay, so that the same thing, but we will make in query, he can ask as an input, he can give text plus image. Okay, text plus image, and then he can ask question on that image and we will display the answer. Okay, display the answer. Got it? Okay. So these are the two things that we will try to make using a Streamlit. Okay. Okay. So let's go to the code and maybe I can create one folder LLM app. Okay. And this LLM app. So template dot ipynb. Okay, so first we will make some template. Okay, then so first thing that is required, it will be so we will copy this thing and let's remove this. Okay, and chat OpenAI LLM, that is the chat prompt template. Yeah, so this library also we will need. Yeah, now and just for let's use this as well. Okay. Hmm. So first you need to import this library, that .env we will require to load the API key. Okay, and to talk with chat OpenAI, we will use OpenAI. So this library will be required. Then system message, human message, that is optional. Maybe in some cases it is required. Mainly chat prompt template is required to create a template. So the steps will be common. So let's, if I have to create a, so the task is, maybe I can, uh, so task is in app, user should define system role. Okay, and query, users should define system role. Okay, and so and ask question. Okay, so there will be two inputs. So first will be uh, so first will be it will make bigger. Okay. So first input we want user from system role. Okay, and second input that we want from user is query. Okay, so these two things we want from user, right? Let's say just a second, this. Okay, yeah, so here we want two input. Okay, so system and you are helpful. Okay, so this we want to input it from user, means maybe we can uh, expert, or maybe we can take role. Okay, role, and here mm, here we can directly write query. Okay, so two things we want from user, that is one is a role and what's your query. Okay, so we created a template in this format. Okay, and then the next task will be mm, So we have to create a chain, and then this chain will be like prompt, and then it will pass to the LLM. Sorry. Okay. So LLM, and then we will output will be chain dot in book, and so there will be two input. So maybe here let's say I can create some variable, yeah, expertise. Okay, so this is a one variable. Maybe I can write, and this should be a string format, Python. Okay, and the query. So maybe question equal to, and what is operator. Okay, and here since there are two inputs, so we have to write in dictionary format. Okay, so in dictionary format, first will be in key value format. So the key will be always the uh, input that you want to enter it from user. Okay, so role we are giving through which one? Expertise. Okay, then the second key will be query. Okay, and yeah, and here query is basically asking a question. Okay, so these two input you are doing. Okay, so this I am doing just to check whether our logic is working or not. Okay, before going creating in a Streamlit, first check in this notebook. Okay, so this is good, and this is okay. Now, so mm, let's say what we want to uh, print. Let's say I just write pp out, means print output, uh, maybe where we can get content dot sorry, output dot content. Okay, yeah, and we can print this as well. Yeah, so this able to print this thing. Okay, so everything works. Okay, I means we able to pass the role and we get the output. Okay, now let's try to implement the same thing um, in Streamlit. Okay, so inside LLM map, let's say create a one app one dot py. Okay, and maybe what we can do. Okay, so first, yeah, so what you can do, yeah. So import, first thing we need to do is import the library, right? Import Streamlit as st. Okay, that's good. And to run this, what we can do, how to run this thing? From terminal, clear. So you are in inside a LLM map, so you can run Streamlit. Uh, okay, currently you are in Streamlit basics. So cd dot dot simply. So these are the folder that you are inside this Jenny, I think. Okay, so make it clear. So I can run Streamlit, and I'm inside a GenAI folder. Okay, so Streamlit run, and this app1.py is where inside a LLM. So I can write LLM tab, then app1. Okay, so Okay, so before that, what we need to do, we need to activate the environment. So to activate source.env bin and then a tab, sorry, activate. So now that is activated, your environment is activated. So now we will Streamlit run LLM tab app tab. Okay, so this will get open. Maybe we can. Okay, so first go to settings here and always first tick run on save. Okay, and okay. Now the next thing is, let's say the thing that you have created template here. Okay, so what are the library that is required? So these are the library that is required. So first import this and also, yeah, so this thing are required. So here we haven't used the chat system message or human message, so we can remove that thing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, so I want to first, let's see, we want to set the page config. Okay, st dot set. Simply you can write. Okay, so we can see the example. So in page config, what are the things that can be done? So let's say we can copy, and so page title we can query. Adit, you can name what should. Uh,
Sir, we can create probably a counselor AI, a psychological, yes,
okay,
psychological counselor.
good. Okay, okay. Counselor AI. Okay. Spelling you can check, you people. Okay, now I'm just. Okay, so what we have given. So first we have imported all the library that is required to run this program. And then we are basically simply got a comma where, okay, yeah, control Z. So here means if you see here the counselor AI come right upside. Okay, that is good. Now let's say we want to set the title. So for title, st dot simply just title. Okay, so here also we can say um, what we can write st dot. Okay, counselor AI only we can the same thing. Okay, and okay, so this is created counselor AI. Now let's say you want to create a sidebar where okay, is sidebar dot title. Here we can simply write about.
Sir,
Haha.
can we change the, can we align the sidebar as per our wish? I mean, from left to right, like that.
So sidebar always come into left side, I think.
Yes, sir, but can we change it?
I don't have idea. You can check in the documentation. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this sidebar. So in sidebar, simply I want to write sidebar dot right. So let's say just want to give the page description. So this is about uh, counseling. This is about mm, interest. Interest. This is about psychology. Yeah, so this is about psychology. You can expand more if you want to write. So we want to write in the sidebar. So that's why st.sidebar.write. Okay, now let's say mm, we want to what we want to input from user, the role, right? So let's say role we want to input from user. So maybe st dot, and we can write role equal to st dot, so text input, uh, and define the mm, or in which. So in psychology also there may be a different field, right? Uh, so maybe in which area of uh, psychology you want to ask query. Okay, so this is the thing that users should define the area. Okay, now so this is the role and query. um, so first he should define role. Okay, so if role is there, means once the role is defined, then we ask user to enter the query. So query will be again xt.text input, and there uh, ask your question. Okay, so this is the query. Okay, now we have to fit inside uh, our template. Okay, so now we will have we can define this inside here also we can create a button st dot button uh, enter. Okay, then and here also we can check. Okay, mm, click, just we can store this enter. So if we press enter, then it will a click will be true, otherwise it will be false. So we will check if click is true or false. So if click is true, then we will pass that to uh, prompt. Yeah, and maybe tab. So this prompt get created. Okay, and or maybe we can define this. Here also no need to, because you are helpful. So this system message, you are a counselor in you are expert counselor in the field of uh, so this we are okay expecting if estimate okay, that will problem. Line 35. Okay. So if click, then chain will be also we can define chain also here. Chain will be prompt and then LLM. Okay, so that output equal to chain dot invoke, and here we can give the so two input, so that is role we want and then the other input is query. Okay, so in role where we are storing the role in role, and query we are storing in query. Okay, you can change the name of this query and role, but yeah, it is up to you. And so st dot, so all this LLM generate a markdown language. Okay, so just to print those st dot markdown, so we can use output dot content. Okay, and yeah, so this app is almost ready. Topic. Okay, so let's say now you people ask question. Adit, you have created a counselor AI, so you should define in which area of psychology you want to ask query.
Sir, child psychology.
Child. Okay. Now, so ask your question.
Uh,
Uh, mhm,
what should be the suppose okay, go with it. What should be the best
mhm,
way
mhm.
uh, to help a child deal with failure?
Exam failure.
Yes, yes, exam
Uh,
failure.
yeah, okay. Nice question. Uh, Now you can press enter. Just checking. Yeah. See. So helping a child. Maybe I can put a screen. So okay, so it giving output. Okay, what should be the best way to it? So here we have given counselor AI and what basically role we have given and the query that you ask, right? So this is how we can make app, and you can definitely you can make it more beautiful, but I'm just giving the way to how to create. Okay, so always first try to create the same thing um, in notebook or uh, so right here we have created some. So if this work, then this will work. If uh, the reverse is not true, right? So this thing should work first. First create a notebook or any Python script and try to see whether that is working or not. Okay, and then try to implement the same thing in Streamlit. Okay. When I was learning this is Streamlit, so for me always this was the confusing thing, means if rule. So I always think it as a, so this if role means whether the role. So inside role, what is there? xt.text input. So if user enter or write anything, then only this thing will get activated. So this code, the code inside a if rule will only work once user input the thing, and that we want, right? So this is how you can uh, create a uh, uh, any basically app where you want to input the text or that thing. So here also, let's say this is a single line. So the question is short, right? Let's say if you have to uh, create a bigger window for asking questions. So simple thing you can do xt.text area instead of text input, you can write. So okay, so this is about rule, maybe control Z. Yeah, control S. So here in question rule can be shorter, but yeah, this can be bigger. So rule, let's say child again. So now the this window get bigger, right? So this and if you want to make it more bigger, so if you see here, you can set the height and other thing as well. So label we, so the thing that ask your question, so that is label. Okay, and value can assign by default value, height, max characters, all these things you can decide in. You can configure this window as well. Okay, so this is about a simple text-based app where you are just asking question on text. Okay, so let's see if we have to create a uh, app where you want to upload an image. Okay, and so this is basically a multimodal. So uh, multimodal means so apart from text, you can input uh, like multimedia you have uh, heard, right? So multimodal. So multimodal means, and so all LLM model are not multimodal. Okay, so always remember when I talking about multimodal, so as an input, it can be a image, audio, video, okay, and text. Okay, so right now we have seen the text, and majority of the LLM models support text based input. Okay, so text based input means where majority of the LLM model, let's say if you ask something uh, then you have to write question in text, right? You cannot input image. So that is what mean by a text based model, text based input. Okay. And let's say if you want to integrate video, audio, or uh, so that you cannot. Okay. So the model, the LLM model which support uh, uh, image, okay, or or audio or video apart from text. Means text is okay, but let's say if I add in some LLM model, it support, let's say, image as well. Okay, maybe it does not support audio or video but image, so we can call that model as well as a multimodal, because multimodal means it should support more than one format. Okay, it should support more than one format. So text is a one format and image is a other format. So two, so any model which support more than one format, so that we can call it as a multimodal. Okay, and this format can be, as I said, text, image, audio, video, PDF file. Okay, right. So these are format. Okay, so if they support um, input format, input in this for like text, image, audio, video, so if they support more than one, it will be called it as a multimodal. So maybe some models support text or image. Okay, so that also we can call it as a multimodal. If they support text, image, audio, three of them, then that also we can call it as a multimodal. Okay, so so multimodal means it should support more format apart from text. Okay, so if I talk about chat GPT, okay, chat GPT. So chat or GPT model, GPT model. So chat GPT models are called GPT models. So there are different versions like 3.54, 4.1, 4.55. Okay. So GPT models support what it support. So text, it can support image, audio, video, PDF file. Okay. So it support all this thing. Okay. It support all these things. Okay. Now the next question is so in text, let's say if I ask what is uh, what is psychology. Okay, so in earlier we have seen what is the token. So token is equal to approximately equal to 4 character, one token. Okay, so in this we can calculate the number of token by, so what is the number of token here? Maybe I'm just roughly I'm giving, let's say 6 to 7 token. Okay, and we can calculate this by based on this logic, right? For example, let's say if I have image, then how should I calculate the token? Okay, so how to calculate the token, because the pricing will be dependent on the token. Anyone want to guess how the pricing of the image?
Sir,
Haha.
Maybe pixel.
Uh,
Size,
yes, sir, maybe pixels
the
because the
size.
image
Pixels.
is a matrix of pixels.
One by one. So, okay. So, who want to
So,
go first? Mhm.
sir, may I?
Yeah.
So image is a matrix of pixels. It has rows and columns of pixel which
Hmm.
carries different values of colors. So it may be calculated on the basis of the number of pixels.
Okay. Good. Next,
The size of the image, like 10 MB or 5 MB.
size of the image. Size of the image.
Like storage
Right.
length.
Right. Uh, then anyone else want to guess?
Size of the image.
Size of the image in terms of MB.
MB. Yes, yes. MB
Okay.
KB.
Means okay, got it. So in terms of storage, you want to say, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So so it is mainly a pixel, uh, uh, and this size also depend on let's say 720 cross 720. Okay, pixel, and so the size will be let's say you have heard about how means when we basically open a YouTube, and there you can see 360, 720, okay, 1080 and 4K. So this is called 1K, and there is a four times of this thing. So I think 4320. So this we called it as a 4K, right? So I think this this is basically a 720. We called it as a SD, and 4K what we call Ultra HD. I forget the name. Okay, so this depend on basically the uh, so 360, 720, 1080, 4320. So this is nothing but pixels. Okay, so this is nothing but pixels. So pixel is like a, let's say if you see any image, na, so 720 cross 720 means it will have a 720 rows and 720 columns. Okay, so in some image, uh, maybe let's say 720 cross 10 uh, 1080 maybe. So this we can tell. So here 720 rows. So 720. This is basically a rows, right? And 1020 columns. Okay, columns, right? So here the width will be more and length will be less. Okay, now, so what is pixel? So pixel is a, let's say I have 720 rows I said, and 1080 column. So here let's say these are basically rows, okay, and these are basically columns. Sorry, columns. Okay, so how many blocks inside? Let's say if I have a 720 cross 1080. So how many blocks will be there? How many rectangular blocks? So it will be
So the
multiplication of these two,
yes,
right?
yes,
So now what is pixel? So pixel is if you take any one block, so that will be called pixel. That will be called it as a pixel. So pixel is a smallest unit of the image. So if you see any image, so let's say if you see maybe one image, okay, and let's say that is a for example for uh, yeah 360 pixel I said, let's say 360 cross 360. Okay, so this means that the same image, Okay, let's say if a person image is there, so it will have a 360 cross 360. So the number of blocks will be 360 cross 360, means if I multiply these two things, right? So this block size will be or this pixel size means if I talk about the area of this pixel, okay, in 360 cross 360. So let's say if I uh, take this area as a A1 now, uh, because okay, so let's say if I increase it to 720 cross 720. So how for the same image, how many blocks will be there? 720 cross 720. So this, if this I'm assuming the area to be A2. So which area will be larger, A1 or A2?
A1 will be larger, sir.
A1 will be larger, right? So when you see any image, okay, and let's say if you zoom that image, okay, so it can zoom up to lowest pixels. Okay, so if it is a 360 cross 360, it means that image is not good and you cannot zoom it further, right? Means you can zoom up to a pixel, means so when you see 4K means 4K image, okay, so there then this area will be very small, right? So that means you can zoom it up to that very small area, and that means the quality is good. Okay, so and this MB size is mainly let's say for each pixel how many bytes you are using. Okay, so let's say if you are using a, if you have a, let's say 4K image, okay, and for each pixel you are assigning 8 bytes. Okay, so it will be 10 cross 1080, oh sorry, this is for 1K into 8 byte. So this and divided by 1024. So this will be from this you can get the size of the image. Okay, now so the token will be dependent on two things. One is a pixel, definitely. So the token is dependent on the how many pixels are there, right? And it's also dependent on the size as well. Maybe we can check just to cross verify it. So see here, more on pricing, image tokens. Just okay. So image, the pricing is GPT image 1. Okay, fine tuning. See here, mainly the price is based on the pixels. Okay, so if you and so it depended on two things, so pixel and size. Okay, so if you see there are three qualities: low, medium and high. Okay, so if I talk about this thing, so in 1024 cross 124, so for low quality image this is 0.011 and this is the dimension for this and this is the dimension for means this is the pricing for this. Okay, so if it means if you input a low quality image and let's say the size of that image is 1024 cross 1024. Okay, so here the pricing will be $0.011. And similarly, if you increase the pixel, this pixel length or size, then as you increase the size, this will get increase. So second and third column, the pricing is same because overall multiplication value will be same, right? Only in one case, length is more, other cases width is more, right? And similarly, if you increase the quality, so this is how the pricing will be decided. Okay, so this is for maybe we can, if you want to ask, here they haven't mentioned the documentation, but okay, so this is also a image generation. We are seeing, right? Text image also. API pricing for OpenAI for image. So it's a image equal to $5 per 1 million tokens. Okay. And the thing, and this is for image generation. Okay. How the pricing of, or how we can calculate the tokens in image for OpenAI. The token calculate the number of so it determine calculate the number of 32 pixels cross 32 pixels patches that are needed to fully cover the image. Okay, so based on that it will calculate the tokens. So one token is equal to 32 cross so if I talk it here, so let's say you have 720 cross 720. Okay, and so in GPT, or so one token is approximately equal to, so it basically divide that thing, the whole thing into a 32 cross 32. Okay, pixels. So one token will be equal to 32 cross 32 pixel. So if you have a 720 image, 720 cross 720, so this will be basically, it will calculate based on this thing. And here the calculation is also there. Okay, so how many patches? So basically this will calculate the tokens. Okay, calculate the number of 32 cross that are needed to fully cover the image. And here, if the number of patches exceed 1536, we scale down the image so that it can be covered more than 1536 patches. Okay, so in an image, if the number of patches exceeds, so they will scale down that image. Okay, so that will be done internally. And cost calculation. So width is 124, resulting in 32 patches. Height also, so token calculated is a 1024 below the cap of 1536. Okay, so for 1024 cross 1024, how many patches are there? 1024. Okay. Uh, for here, for example, they have also given for this image, the number of tokens is 4 to, we need 4 to 75 tokens. Patches to cover the full, since that exceed 1536, we need to scale down the image while preserving the aspect ratio. Okay. So if the number of patches exceed, it will shrink that image. Okay. To get the token to be 1452. Okay. The calculation also they have written. And the token cost of an image is determined two factors, size and detail. So size we have seen and detail also. So any image with detail equal to low cost setup base number of token. This amount varies model. To calculate the with detail, we do the following. Tile tokens. So it is almost a double if we increase the. So there are only two details, low and high. So let's say most of the times, so if image is low, so these are the basically the pricing, sorry, number of tokens, and these have been given for 2048 48. Okay, and this is the basically for the high quality. Okay, so if anyone asks based on what thing the pricing or the token so the total pricing and the number of token depend. So it depend on two things, size and detail. So detail is nothing but, so if it is a high quality image means the storage will be more, right? Basically for each pixel it will the number of bits will be more, right? So here there are low and high, only two things are there. So this is how basically the pricing is uh, determined. Okay, yeah. So this is based on the image. So always try to maintain, let's say if you want to have a low cost, so try to maintain low, and always you can resize the image. Okay, before passing to the LLM, try to resize it to 720 cross 720. Okay, because these models are good enough to basically understand the 720 cross 720 pixel image. Okay, so this will basically check your cost. So always try with lower quality image. If the result are not that good, then you can improve the quality. Okay, now the next question is how we can interact with this um, image using LLM. Okay, so LLM, so if you want to talk with any API, means if you want to pass any image to LLM, like OpenAI is a, means we are using as a API, right? We are asking question, that question going to the server where the model is there, and it from the server we are getting the output. Okay, so the text, so OpenAI API. Okay, so the text is gone to OpenAI API, and then we are getting the output. So we don't have to do any pre-processing. Okay, but in case of image or any other multimedia, first we need to convert, because so text is in string format. So this LLM model understand only a string format, right? But image is not in string format. So there is one library called Base64. Okay. So before passing to the LLM, any image, let's say if you want to input any image to LLM, then first you need to convert into a base 64. Then that image can go to the OpenAI API. If you directly send it, it will throw error. Okay, because it understand only string, and the output of base 64 will be string. Okay, and so before passing image to the LLM, first you need to convert into a base 64. Okay, so this is a library which basically convert into a string format. So either it can be image, audio, or PDF file. Okay, you need to convert into a base 64 to send it to OpenAI. Okay, otherwise it will throw error. Okay, so this is very important. Uh, Always you need to convert the image into a base 64 format. So that will basically so base 64, what it does, so image as input, it will basically convert into a string. Okay, and for text, if you see, text is already in a string format, right? So we don't have to pass it to base 64. So base 64 just encode that image to a string format, and so that can be understood by a LLM. Similarly for audio and other thing also, when you are passing that to any API or any cloud, even AWS or anywhere, if you have to talk with any API, there you need to convert that image to a base 64. Now, so this is, if you have to basically give it to API, then only you need to use base 64. Let's say if you are using a Olama, Olama, and it running in your system. Okay, so there you don't need to convert into a base 64 or a string format. That model will be able to understand the image in the same format that you are sending. Okay, so but most of the time we will talk with API. It can be a OpenAI, Grok, Anthropic, or even AWS models, Bedrock, or Vertex AI, or any other cloud where we are basically accessing that cloud LLM models through API. Okay, so there we need to convert into a base 64 format. Okay, now that is there. Now, so there are some format for image. Okay, for image, there are some format. So in LangChain, uh, they have created how we can LangChain. They have created how we can pass that pass image to the LLM. Okay, so there are some format. So if I share you the screen. So see here, for images, image from base 64 data. So there are different things, like in some cases, if you are taking the image from internet, okay, Google Images, there you can directly pass in this format. Okay, but let's say if you want to use your image, the image that is stored in your system, okay, then you have to basically pass in this format. So where type is image, source type, meme type, and data. Okay, and if you see here, sorry, So message equal to rule, all these things. Okay, and then you can pass this to LLM to get the answer. So I have created notebook where you can see. Yeah. So I can create a multimedia template. Okay. .pyn. So here, so first I need to, these steps will be common, and let's pass this one. Yeah. So multimedia template. Then so this will be a function that you can use for any file to just encode. Okay. So this is to encode to. So before that, you need to import base64. Yeah. Okay. So this function will convert local image to base64 string. Okay.
Sir,
So
one
the out.
question.
Haha.
Sir, here you have imported base64. Don't we need to keep it inside the requirement.txt and install those libraries?
If it throw error, then we can, but we are not using a .txt, right? Requirement.txt. We are, since we are using UV, so here the project.toml. Okay.
Okay.
So this thing is there, means what are the library that is installed. If it throws error, then only you need to install, because many times some library are, means when you install Python, at that time some of the library are inbuilt. Okay.
Okay, okay.
But if it's a module not found, okay, then at that time only you need to install those things.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So so first step is this one. So I think these are the library that have installed in that thing, and base64 is inbuilt. Otherwise it will throw error, but in our case it doesn't. So it means it is already installed or inbuilt. Okay. Then you can use this function. Now, so let's, I have one image called event.png, and so it convert into a base64. So if you want to see what is inside a base64, so see, this is the image. And if you copy any image from internet, basically they are in this format. So because of that only, we don't have to basically follow. They are already into base64. Okay. So since we are using a local, so first we need to convert any image to base64. Okay. Now the next thing is what should be my message. Okay. And here, yeah. So let's say you want to create a human message. Okay. Describe this image. You can write anything. So first in human message, you can write content in this format and then type. So first, let's say if you want to ask something on that image, so along with that image, you also need to pass describe the image. Means the question. It is basically, this is the question and this is the, so first you need to have a type. Okay. So inside a content, there are two things, type. So type equal to text, and then text describe this image. Then the things like type image, base64 data. So that this is the data that you are passing and meme type. Okay. And so this is the format. Okay. Let's say, yeah. And so if I want to, maybe I can ask the question. So LLM is already defined. So output equal to LLM dot invoke. Okay. And message. Okay. And yeah. So input must be a prompt value str or okay. So it will be a thing. So always put in a square bracket, otherwise it will throw error. Okay. So output dot content print. Okay. So if I show you the image a1.png, it is just stored inside. So this is the image that I passed and it giving the output. Okay. So here we have defined a human message, right? We can also, in a similar way, we can add a system message as well. Okay. And you can invoke the model. It will provide you the output. Yeah. So yeah, so this is how we can input the image to the LLM model, and we will try to build a on this how we can basically create an app where we can interact with images through Streamlit. Okay, so that we will see in tomorrow class. Okay, so yeah, that's it for today's class. Any doubt till this point? One thing always remember, you don't have to remember these things. Okay, for this, and nobody in interview will ask this command, what are the commands or what are the syntax. Okay, so always you don't have to remember, just only thing that is needed or need to be remembered is you know how to see the documentation. Okay, so we are using the documentation of LangChain, and there all these things with examples are given how we can interact with LLM models through images. So for example, here the image is there. Okay, similarly image from URL and documentation PDF, audio also it is given. So you can play with those things. Okay, I will send you the link, the same thing in your in WhatsApp group. So there try to play with different types of file means. Okay, so try to maybe you can try with what we called image, audio. Okay, and other things. So okay, so um, this I want everyone to try, and so tomorrow maybe we can take holiday, okay, and next class will be on, maybe we can set on it on Saturday evening, okay. So you will get some time to do practice of all these things, okay. So and these are very super useful because in some there are different types of LLM app you will make, and in some cases you can use audio, some cases image also required, some cases PDF, all this thing. So it will be super useful if you just practice it through means in notebook how you can interact with these models by passing the image, okay. So yeah, so next class will be on Saturday evening 6 p.m. okay. Yeah, so that's it for today's class. Any question?
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
I was when I was trying these things. I mean, uh, uh, I created when I connected LangChain with all these things. There was a very basic error. It was suppose I wrote all the libraries inside the requirement.txt file, and when I installed this or any command I used to write in the terminal in Git bash, it used to say permission denied. Then I looked for it in the ChatGPT. I asked it. So it said to write Python -m, then pip install like that. So what is that? I was not able to figure out.
So as I said, don't use a pip, use
Yes.
UB.
Okay, sir.
I haven't miss in my classes. I haven't.
Yes,
I only
yes.
talk about a UV and TOML file because that is a super easy and fast as well. If you try to install the same thing using pip and the same thing using UV, you will feel the difference because it will take some time if you use a pip to install any library, okay, but using UV it will be super easy, okay.
Okay, sir.
uh, Maybe in next class you can share your screen what error you are getting, we will try to resolve it through UV, okay.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, any other question? Okay then, thanks guys, that's it for today's class.
Thank you, sir.